Здравствуйте, друзья! Я рад возможности быть с вами, когда Международная ассоциация бокса отмечает 75 лет. За последние 12 месяцев мы прошли большой путь изменений и реформ. При помощи независимых экспертов нам удалось принять верные решения в реформе и управлении AIBA, закрыть долги и обеспечить нашему спорту достойное финансирование в будущем благодаря спонсорам и партнерам.
This new chapter for the International Boxing Association builds on a proud history. Our foundation is more than 5,000 years of boxing and 75 years of AIBA history.
Мы идем вперед с нашими великими чемпионами и их выдающимися победами, нашими успехами и большой боксерской семьей. Мы взяли все лучшее из своей богатой истории, чтобы сохранить это и приумножить. Горжусь, что в этом году мы дали шанс боксерам выступить на молодежном чемпионате мира в Польше, чемпионате мира среди мужчин в Белграде.
Every day, AIBA works to create a supportive home for boxers, coaches, and national federations. Competitions are held at the highest level. Winners are rewarded like never before. We have a development program that matches our big ambitions for boxing. Assistance to federations is provided with grants and equipment.
Мы заложили фундамент в стабильное будущее нашей организации и готовы к новым вершинам и обновлениям, внутренним и внешним. Сегодня хочу объявить, что мы меняем бренд Международной ассоциации бокса.
Meet the updated International Boxing Association, AIBA, and our new logo.
Только вместе можем достичь новых высот. Важна поддержка и участие каждого из вас. Я верю, что у AIBA большое будущее, которого мы можем достичь в союзе и согласии.
We're just waiting for President.
Okay.
Good morning, friends from the media. Good morning and welcome to the IBA press conference. And I'm absolutely delighted to say today you will notice behind the president of the IBA, President Umar Kremlev, in a minute, a very different look and feel following a successful Congress, virtual Congress yesterday. And I will allow the President to update you all of that in his opening remarks and give you a comprehensive update on all the other news and progress over the last 6 to 8 months and what's coming up ahead. So with that, President, the floor is yours.
I'm very happy to welcome you all and thank you so much for joining us today. It has been exactly 1 year since the day I was elected, and what a year it has been. Yesterday, we held a virtual extraordinary Congress from here in Lausanne, the true center of the sports world, with 107 participating countries. And what a difference from our humble start in London 75 years ago. We have set the scene for a stable future of our organization. We are ready to reach new heights. And for this, we have needed a new International Boxing Association. Let the new era of boxing begin. We have taken the best from our rich history and experience to create a new International Boxing Association. Old values, but new ways of working. We are building the new IBA on new foundations. The Governance Reform Group and Professor Ulrich Haas concluded their report and made a number of key recommendations. All of them were approved yesterday by the Congress. This means a new constitution for the IBA and a new structure for the board of directors. We will see new faces too when the new election is held by June 30th, 2022. Also, we will see the launch of the Independent Boxing Integrity Unit, which will be empowered to address competition manipulation, abuse, harassment, eligibility checks of candidates, and other issues. We now have stable financing too. I promised before my election that the debts would be all cleared. With that done, and with financial stability secured with the help of our general partner Gazprom, we can now provide our members with financial support needed for developing boxing worldwide. The independent audits concluded by Swiss company Moore Stevens and also by Ernst & Young on request from the IOC have confirmed that the IBA is currently at a much better state than a year ago, and our new financial stability has allowed us to offer prize money to championships winners for the first time in the association's history. We now also have a new approach to sports integrity. This started with bringing on board independent experts to investigate the past with the support of Professor McLaren. Just 2 days ago, he announced the results of the investigation into the Youth Asian Championship that was held this year. We welcome all results, no matter what they are for us, because the IBA has nothing to hide, and actions will be taken as soon as our legal experts, as well as our ethics and disciplinary committees, conduct their investigations. But we decided not to wait for the results of the investigation before taking action. We actually spent a good half of the last year improving our governance system and our regulations. We've implemented significant changes, significant improvements to make sure our competitions are held at the highest possible level. We have implemented rigorous eligibility checks and vetting procedures for our officials. Next year, we also expect that our reforms implemented in the field of refereeing and judges will lead to their recertification. With that in mind, we are looking forward to 2022. It will bring new events for us: Global Boxing Cup in Russia and Women's World Boxing Championship in Istanbul, as well as the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham in the UK. Apart from this, of course, we are doing a lot for the future of boxing as part of the Olympic family. Thanks to our huge progress, we now have the chance to define our sport's Olympic future. Together with the IOC, we will start working on recommendations for weight categories for Paris. We will also work on developing the Olympic qualification system for boxing. I would like to say on behalf of all of us here at the IBA that we are very grateful for this opportunity. We now have a chance to develop a roadmap that will lead to our reinstatement at the IOC session in 2023. We must continue improving our governance. We have adopted new governance reforms less than 27 hours after the IOC mentioned it. Of course, this was only made possible thanks to our work that we started months ago. And it was only possible because we have changed our culture of governance. We now listen to independent experts and we follow their advice. We must reform our referee and judging system, and we've begun that work too. As Professor McLaren said at our recent World Championship in Belgrade, we started to put our problems behind us. We started to amend those. On diversifying our revenue, I must say that, of course, we are hoping to work with new sponsors. And for that, we needed a new brand, a new identity. And now we have one. We, and me personally, the IBA team, our members, we are fully committed to start a new, clean, bright era for boxing. We will continue with the reforms and provide the best opportunities for our athletes, coaches, and the boxing community. We will offer them the best future. IBA is the house, the home of boxing.
Thank you so much, President. I would now like to open the floor to our friends from the media around the world to ask questions to President. What I would like you to do, slightly different protocol perhaps to what you're used to, we would ask you just to simply type your name and your media organization in the chat box. You do not need to type your question in. I will then call on you to unmute, and then you will get the chance to ask your question directly to President, and then you will mute again and we'll carry on in that way. This will enable me to take the questions in the right sequence and everyone will get a fair chance. So the first question is to Eddie Goldman of No Holds Barred, please. Eddie?
Hi, thank you very much. Congratulations on the new Constitution. Professor McLaren's report said, quote, "The people are the problem, even when the rules and regulations are of the highest quality. The sport will need to ensure that it cultivates individuals with integrity to run the organization," unquote. Can you please comment on how this will be accomplished? Thanks. Spasiba.
Но мы уже...
Well, we've started this work already. We renewed our commissions, our committees, and the World Championship in Belgrade was actually the start of this work. Of course, we need to make it clear to everyone that we are committed to changing the way we think. We need to forget about the past. We need to embrace integrity and transparency, and we guarantee our athletes that they will be judged fairly, that they will have fair results. Yesterday, all of the national federations voted unanimously for amendments to our constitution, which shows their commitment to integrity. With that, we open a new page for the IBA. We are in for a great future because we laid a solid foundation for it.
Thank you, President. I would now like to ask David Kelly from the Belfast Telegraph to ask the next question, please. Unmute, please.
Yes, thank you. And thank you, President. Can I ask, what can you put in place to make sure that a further cabal does not rise up to dominate and control referees and judges in the future? And secondly, is there still a fear that boxing will not be in the Olympics in Los Angeles?
Speaking about judging and refereeing, we've started this work to make sure that our judges and referees are fair and objective. For that, we're working with Professor McLaren, and also we'll be launching a recertification process for our judges and referees. And if there are some evidence that a particular judge or referee is implicated in manipulating the bouts, they will no longer be a part of boxing. Even as fans of boxing, they will never be a part of it anymore. Speaking about the Olympic Games in Los Angeles, we'll be holding a women's championship in Istanbul to showcase all of our improvements, all of the changes that we introduced in our work. And you know that we are working with the IOC. We are now working on a roadmap together with the IOC, and we are so grateful for this opportunity. And I'm sure that if we do good work, there will be no reason not to have us. I cannot speak on behalf of the IOC, of course, but I can tell you that we will be transparent and clean.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Go ahead if you have a short follow-up question, David.
No, that's fine. Oh, yes, there was just one thing. I just wondered, why did you come to the decision on prize money, and how much prize money for example, a World Championship event?
Ну, на чемпионате мира.
At the World Championship in Belgrade, we had $100,000 for the first prize, and $50,000 for the second prize, and $25,000 for the third prize. And we're planning on increasing those prize money. We know it is important for every athlete to represent their country, to hear their flags going up, and to hearing the anthem of their country. But we need to create a good environment for our athletes. We need to attract athletes, and everything that comes into us as our revenue should be reinvested in our athletes. We want the parents to be sure that if their children are training to be boxers, they will not only have something that they love to do, but they will also make money. We want to make sure that the sport of boxing will provide athletes with new opportunities. We want the sport of boxing to be a social lift for our athletes. That is why we want even medals to be true. Gold medals should be made of gold, and silver medals should be made of silver, and bronze medals should be made of bronze. It all should be true. Everything, every penny that we make should be reinvested in our athletes.
Thank you very much.
So thank you for that, President. We're still looking for our friends from the media to type their name in with their media organisation if they would like to ask a question. We have Alex Capstick from the BBC is next. Alex?
Thanks, John. Hi, morning, everyone. Just a couple of quick questions. First of all, on the reallocation of medals, Professor McLaren said that he didn't have the power. It was outside his remit to reallocate medals from the Rio Olympics if a bout was judged to have been fixed. Are you planning to do that? And also the referees named in his and judges named in his report about Rio, those that were part of the manipulation process, are you saying they will not be allowed to work again, ever again, for AIBA? Thank you.
Ну,
Well, first of all, let me tell that I'm very grateful for everything that Professor McLaren does is highly valued, because we know we need to know the truth, because we need to say goodbye to the past and to make sure that corrupted people have no place at our events. If Professor McLaren will find out some corrupted bouts that happened at our events, of course, we will change it all. We will probably reallocate the results. If we're talking about international events not held, but our association, that is their decision. What I can tell you is we will fight against bouts being manipulated.
So just a quick follow-up. You're saying that regarding Rio, it would be the IOC that decides that, not yourself, because it was under their control in Rio?
Да, это их полномочия.
Yes, this is up to the IOC to make this call. It is their decision. I can't decide it for them. I can only speak on behalf of the IBA, and I can only be held responsible for that.
So, Alex, did we answer sufficiently the second part of your question, which is what will happen to the referees and judges who were named in the McLaren reports? Has that been answered, or would you like?
Could you just repeat that, please? Yeah, thank you.
So, President, Alex Capstick of the BBC would like you to also say what will be the outcome, the fate of the referees and judges that were named in the McLaren report as being corrupt and so on.
Пожизненно исключены, если их...
That would be lifelong disqualification. If their guilt is proven, they will be forever expelled and they won't be admitted to boxing events even as spectators. We will be very harsh in implementing our decisions.
Okay, thank you, President. I think we now are moving, and there quite a few media have joined us a little bit late. The way we're handling this, and it's working very well, thank you everyone, is you just simply type your name and your media organization in chat so that everyone can see, and we will take the media in the right sequence for their questions. The next question is coming from Shantanu Shrivastava from the Hindustan Times in India. The floor is yours, Shantanu.
Hey, thanks. I have a question for Mr. President. I would like to know what are the likely changes that you are planning to implement in the new constitution, since you spoke about them. Could you please talk about the changes? Thank you.
Ну, очень много было поправок.
Well, yeah, there have been very many changes that have been approved already. They were voted for yesterday in general for the entire program of amendments given to us by Professor Ulrich Haas and his team. So all national federations have reviewed the amendments and approved them unanimously. What I'd like to say is everything that has been approved will be, well, put into life. We will completely update and renew our system, as well as the board of directors and the system of governance. That's the most important for us. I think that's what the community has been expecting from us. And those changes took place yesterday, a historical day indeed. Thank you, everyone who supported us.
Thank you, President. We have a question now from Amit Kamath from the News 9 Digital in India. Amit?
Hi, I hope you guys can hear me. Good morning, Mr. Kremlev. My question to you is, this is just a clarification. I just wanted to understand whether you mentioned that along with the IOC, you guys are planning on rejigging the weight classes for boxing competitions for Paris. Is that correct? Are you going to rejig the weight classes for Paris 2024?
Да, мы уже у нас изменили.
Yes, you are correct. We have already changed them. Before the World Championship, we already had athletes in different weight categories. As you know, we have added more weight categories. And the same is true for the Women's World Championship. The one to take place in Istanbul will have new weight categories. And our sports department is already working on the new categories.
Okay, thank you, President. We have next Ashish Shah from Sport Intern.
Hello, I hope you can hear me. Thank you very much, John, for the opportunity for a question. Mr. President, since you've taken over, you've made a lot of changes, recommendations, bringing independent people like Professor McLaren, talking about governance, talking about transparency, and you really are tackling a lot of issues head on. But it still seems, looking at it from the outside, that there is a sense of a reluctance in putting confidence into AIBA from the IOC. Of all the things that you are saying that you want to make changes to, what do you feel are the key ones that really will bring the IOC on board and give their confidence to you? Thank you.
Изменения те.
Well, the changes we're speaking about. Well, the three key ones are, number one, the financial part. Number two, a reform in judges and referee system that would guarantee athletes fairness and transparency for athletes and spectators, for everyone, so that everyone can see that there's growing competition in boxing. And honesty will be, well, very strict. And this is what is already happening. It's already happened, I can say. And number three is the reform of the governance. These three aspects are key to us. And we have completed that yesterday. And before the 30th of June, we will have completed the governance reform. So all the three elements are here. And once they are in place, I think there will be no questions to us as an international association.
Thank you, President. The next question is from James Ellingworth from the Associated Press. James?
Good morning, Mr. President. Just a question about your personal relationship to the IOC. They obviously had some doubts and concerns when you were elected last year. So I'm wondering, how much contact do you personally have with IOC representatives, and what have you done over the last 12 months to reassure them that you are the right person to lead AIBA back into running the Olympic boxing tournament and staying on the program in 2028?
Ну, во-первых, я сказал бы не IBA, а IBA.
Well, I would say it's IBA, not AIBA anymore. It's the International Boxing Association, because we are the only organization acknowledged by 203 countries, and that's developing boxing across the globe.
Какие-то там, знаете, привилегии для себя получать.
Well, I don't interact with IOC officials to secure any privileges for myself. To me, the most important thing is that there are no questions left to the International Boxing Association, our organization. My only concern is that it remains the most transparent, fair, and open. As I say always, it's the house of boxing. I want the boxing family to know that they have a home where they can have all their problems solved. And this home is the foundation for the boxing community. To me, it's the most important thing, to make sure the organization develops. This is what I came to do, to help my boxing family to get rid of all problems. Well, I'm a businessman myself. Boxing is a hobby to me. And during my time in AIBA, I invest a lot of my resources, a lot of my energy into it, my thought with my team. We see our goal that the International Boxing Association becomes an example of an international federation.
Thank you, President James. I don't know if there's anything follow-up you wanted to ask on that.
Yeah, just specifically, what is the level of the personal contact that you have with IOC leadership? How often do you talk? And what is the tone of those communications?
Ну, у нас идет все официально, у нас есть переписка.
Well, it's all going officially through official channel. We are in correspondence with the IOC.
Рекомендуют они нам.
And if they have any questions or recommendations on what to do to get rid of the remaining issues, yes, we are in cooperation with them. We're interacting with them. And I think not only the IOC needs it, but we, the boxing family, also need that to reform, to forget the past, the old things. We've done that. We did that yesterday. And considering all the positive changes that we've had, I think we have laid a great foundation. And as for me personally, well, I mostly care about what the boxing community says about what I do. I'm not aspiring to go any higher. I really value what the boxing family says about me.
Okay, thank you, President. We have a question now we've got a time for about 3 more, I would think. So we've got a question from Wei Zhang from Xinhua News Agency in China.
Hi, morning, President. My question is, the IOC are trying to attract more young people by including new events such as surfing or climbing. So is there any concern that boxing is less attractive for the young generations nowadays? And besides the reform of governance, in your governance, is there any work you want to do to attract more young people? Thank you.
Во-первых, в боксе находится молодая.
Yeah, first of all, but boxing is where the young audience is, in fact. Take the whole world, for example. Take sports that can gather stadiums full of spectators. That's boxing. Take a look at championship bouts, the turnout rates, 100,000, 80,000 spectators. How can you say boxing is losing something? Boxing is growing and developing, and there are more and more young people joining boxing. And the reforms we have done recently, I think it's going to further boost the development of boxing. And I think it's quite the opposite. Boxing will soon become, well, the flagship of sports.
Thank you, President. I think Ahmet Kamath of News 9 Digital, you have another question.
Hi, good morning once again. Thank you. Mr. Kremlev, I wanted to understand when you heard the news that, IOC had basically left out boxing from the main sports for 2028. How surprised were you by that decision? Were you expecting it, or did that come out completely out of the blue?
Ну, на самом деле, мы не сидим, не ждем.
Well, in fact, we hadn't been sitting idly. We've been doing the reforms, one of the key priorities, together with independent experts, because we have to be fair and transparent, not only in front of the IOC, but in front of sponsors and everybody else. We're moving on. So my team and myself have been doing, well, a lot of work. And to myself, well, it wasn't a surprise. I know how decisions are made, but I just want to make sure that those decisions are fair and honest. I can't say on their behalf. I can only say on behalf of our boxing association, but I'm thankful to them for keeping boxing for 2024, for the Paris Games. I'm thankful for them for sending over the 3 issues that we need to work on, for coming up with a roadmap for our interaction. I think it's only good for the association, and I'm thankful to them for developing the sports. It's in the interests of boxing, after all.
Well, thank you, President, and thank you to all our friends from the international media around the world. There will be plenty more opportunities in the weeks and months ahead to continue this dialogue and opportunities to ask questions of President and his team of experts in the reform of IBA. But President, on behalf of President Umar Kremlev and behalf of all of IBA, we would like to thank you for your attendance and wish you season's greetings coming up, and stay safe and stay well, all of you. Take care and see you soon. Bye-bye.
Здравствуйте, друзья! Я рад возможности быть с вами, когда Международная ассоциация бокса отмечает 75 лет. За последние 12 месяцев мы прошли большой путь изменений и реформ. При помощи независимых экспертов нам удалось принять верные решения в реформе и управлении AIBA, закрыть долги и обеспечить нашему спорту достойное финансирование в будущем благодаря спонсорам и партнерам.
This new chapter for the International Boxing Association builds on a proud history. Our foundation is more than 5,000 years of boxing and 75 years of AIBA history.
Мы идем вперед с нашими великими чемпионами и их выдающимися победами, нашими успехами и большой боксерской семьей. Мы взяли все лучшее из своей богатой истории, чтобы сохранить это и приумножить. Горжусь, что в этом году мы дали шанс боксерам выступить на молодежном чемпионате мира в Польше, чемпионате мира среди мужчин в Белграде.
Every day, AIBA works to create a supportive home for boxers, coaches, and national federations. Competitions are held at the highest level. Winners are rewarded like never before. We have a development program that matches our big ambitions for boxing. Assistance to federations is provided with grants and equipment.
Мы заложили фундамент в стабильное будущее нашей организации и готовы к новым вершинам и обновлениям, внутренним и внешним. Сегодня хочу объявить, что мы меняем бренд Международной ассоциации бокса.
Meet the updated International Boxing Association, IBA, and our new logo.
Только вместе можем достичь новых высот. Важна поддержка и участие каждого из вас. Я верю, что у IBA большое будущее, которого мы можем достичь в союзе и согласии.